Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. Please hit that like button as you come in. Please hit that like button. I'm just going to put the countdown on just to give you guys some time to come in. But please hit that like button as you come in. Thank you. Hello, good evening, everybody. How is everyone doing? Good evening. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys have had a good day. Happy Monday. So yeah, I hope everyone is feeling very good today. Please hit that like button as you come in. Thank you so much. Hi, Bajan. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I had a wonderful day. I hope you did as well. Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Okay, guys, hope everyone is doing well. Um, yeah, thanks for joining in, everybody. Good evening. Happy Monday. We have a few bits to talk about. So we are going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to talk a little bit about Destiny and her dating situation in the Huntsville streets. We're also going to talk about Nell and her family dynamic, Nell and Chris and the family dynamic. Um, we're also going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. I think some of you guys may not like what I have to say about Potomac, but make sure you stay until the end because I do have quite a bit to say about Potomac. So, but thank you for joining in. So we will talk about that. I do think also it's very important to talk about Ashley and Josh. Um, it's crazy to see Ashley basically let that man go on national TV and basically highlight that the man is a little brokey. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that as well. The Stacey versus Tia of it all. We will be talking about that as well. Um, and anything else that comes up as well, we will be talking about. Tommy, I already know. So let me show you all what Tommy is saying. Tommy and I are going to fight tonight, okay? Because I know Tommy loves her. She loves her some Stacey. And tonight, she's probably not gonna like me, so we're gonna be tussling very, very soon. But yes, good evening, everyone. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. You have heard it from my mod, Tommy. So please hit that like button, everybody. Okay, so let's start with the Love and Marriage Huntsville of it all, because I know sometimes that's the gift that keeps on giving. And that's probably why a lot of people are like, oh, okay, let me check out this live. So let's give you some of y'all what y'all came for. Okay. So this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville was very heavily focused on Destiny and what Destiny has going on, with her dating a bunch of people. And then if we then fast forward to Miss Nell, so we also see Miss Nell and we see Chris. We already know that Nell has a very interesting family dynamic, which is definitely low key toxic. But yeah, we already know there is a very weird dynamic with the family. Um, And so we will be talking about that as well. Didn't I tell y'all that Tommy is ready to stand for her girl? Tommy is ready to fight for Stacey. Stacey needs to cut you a check, honey, because you be defending that lady every week. Okay? So you see, she's ready to defend. So I will give you the opportunity to defend. Maybe for your sake, I will even make sure I put a little pepper on it so that you can come and fight for your girl Stacey. Okay? But yeah, it's all fun and games here anyway. Like it's all lighthearted. So feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Bajan has her popcorn ready to enjoy tonight's show. But yeah, Tommy is saying thank you for joining in. Guys, please hit the like button as you join in. Please and thank you very much. We are not going to be begging for likes tonight. So please hit that like button. Please and thank you. Okay, so back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville, this episode was pretty much about Destiny and her dating situation, and it was about Nell and the kids. That was all the episode was about. And I can be honest and put my hand up and say I don't miss Tisha. I don't miss Kimmy. I don't miss none of the other people, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not saying that this episode gave much, but even with the little that it gave, it was better than the usual episodes that we have anyway. Bajan is has already started early, honey. Bajan is roasting me. Did I remember to get the batteries? No, I didn't yet again. So if my mouse decides to stop on me, you all know the reason. It's them batteries, man. Honestly, I don't know why I forget. Batteries are like the last thing on my mind, in actual honesty. But yeah. Maybe that'll be my Christmas gift from Bajan at this point because I need me some batteries. I really should get some batteries. But yeah, so Destiny in this episode, right? Bottom line is Destiny is now dating. Destiny has been seen to be hanging out with Twan and Will. So she went on a first date with Will at the Fletcher's event. And now the second date, which I guess is the official date, is where she went roller skating. Now, interestingly enough, I saw some people had an issue with her dress to roller skate. Let's be honest. She had no plans of proper roller skating. So, yes, she wore a dress and she looked good in that dress. So, I'm not going to be one of those people that would be on her about wearing a dress to roller skating, guys. Like, when we put it in perspective, it ain't that deep. She wore a nice dress. She wore a nice dress. Um, but my big thing is Destiny needs to date the people out of state, honey. Stop dating the people in Huntsville. Stop dating people in Huntsville. It is obvious that these people know each other. These people are, these people are basically intertwined. How is it that Will and Twan know each other? He said they are friends and they go way back. And this is why I say, like, Destiny is such a small circle to be dating the same people affiliated with the people that you already know. It's like dating 101. Nobody is saying you can't be a single girl dating as many people as you want to date, but do they have to all be in the same circle? Do they all have to be friends? Do they all have to get the opportunity to be talking about you, keeking, ha ha ha, about the kind of dates you went on? Right? So I personally would feel very, very weird being involved in that sort of situation. Nobody's saying you can't date, you're a single woman, go over there and date as many people as you want healthily, of course. Don't be giving them the pp, but like, do date, but you don't have to date friends, you don't have to date god brothers, for goodness sakes. I appreciate she didn't know about Will and Twan, but if she wasn't dating it within that same circle, there's a less likelihood of that even happening. So that's where I stand. It's like, ugh, Destiny baby, I don't like the way, you're all up in there. It's just so weird to me. Choo choo all around the Dustville. Mm-mm-mm. That is definitely what it's given. And and I don't like that because I feel like women are constantly shamed for dating, but men can date. And so I really never want to be that person that shames somebody for wanting to date. You should date and, date date until you make sure that this person is for you, right? Before you commit, right? And I definitely agree with what she said about not sleeping with everybody that she dates, but at the same time it's like, girl, stop dating the people in the same circle. Of course they know each other. It's common sense, right? Swan and Will being childhood friends was so hilarious to me because she literally just dated Lance, that was Twan's friend, probably why he was saying hit and smash. Exactly. And this is the thing. These men are not going to have they're not going to have respect for you if they feel like you're going from friend to friend to friend. You've already dated Lance. If I were in her situation, and I'd already dated Lance, no matter even if I really want to date one, I'll be like, all right, no, I've dated one friend in that group. Enough is enough. Keep it moving and move on. Because even if they didn't smash, I feel like they probably did some things. This is just my assumption, right? Allegedly. I don't know it to be a fact. I just feel like something probably happened between the grown people, even if it didn't lead to sex or whatever. So, from my perspective, going ahead, even when you then found out that that's the god brother, still going ahead to go on a date with the god brother is a bit odd to me. That's just not how I would roll. And I feel like it's a bit too close for comfort. And so I'm really not surprised how things are playing out for her. I'm really not surprised at how it's playing out because there's no way it's not going to play out like this. Let's be for real, right? You're out here dating about and stuff. Of course, this is how it's going to end, right? If you're dating within the same circle, of course they're going to know each other. So I'm gonna need her to, baby, go somewhere 2 hours away. Okay. Go there, I don't know, go for an event over there. You're a business owner, go to a networking event 2 hours away, meet some new people. They can buy your products, they can get to know you, and then you can see someone, a few people that you could date. When next you're in Atlanta, well, I don't know if Atlanta is the best place to be dating according to the streets, because, well, I've never been to Atlanta, but from what the streets are saying, they're saying Atlanta is not the place. But whenever she's anywhere else, like, meet some people, talk to other people. But the Huntsville streets, yeah, I'm gonna need her to please go over to a different place today at this point because they can't all be knowing each other. It doesn't look good. Imagine says the circle of life. Absolutely. It's given rolling around in the circle, honey. It's like, please, at this point, and it was so embarrassing how all of them were laughing and saying, okay, so she's dated Lance, and now she went on a date with you, Twan. And then, oh, who's she gonna like next? Chris. And it's just like the fact that they get the opportunity to be laughing about it, it's just like it never should have even gotten to that point. But it's because you still proceeded knowing fully well that Twan is the god brother. He was literally at family dinner. That is so weird. It's like they're practically brothers. That man showed up to family dinner and was already intertwined with the group, for crying out loud. The fact that nobody really thought, oh, he and family, nobody mentioned anything about the god brother being there, shows me that he be over there at the house. So why would you date this man's brother? Even if it's a business date, in quotation marks. I don't know what business you're trying to do with the man, but the conversations was anything but business. It was anything but business. So no, we're not falling for that nonsense. So Tommy is telling y'all to please hit that like button as you come in, and I completely agree with her. Smash that like button, please, and thank you. Tommy says she needs a date. She needs to get on a dating app or something. Absolutely. I think she needs a dating app. She needs a dating show. Maybe on the dating show, they can bring her eligible bachelors that are not just in Huntsville. Give her more opportunities to spread her wings, right? So I would say, yes, she definitely needs to branch out. So if On can do some sort of dating show for her, have her on the show, but then again, I suspect they want to have multiple people on the show, but it's just her. So I don't know how that's going to work. But she said that Will was her bodyguard. What does she need a bodyguard for? This is the thing. It's like all these bodyguards, I don't see what there's a need for that. And the fact that she kept saying, "Thank you for guarding my body." It's like if I had a bodyguard, I'm not going to be telling them thank you for guarding my body. It just sounds very suggestive. And this is why it's like nobody can take you seriously when you say you had business conversations or it was a business date, because you're over there talking about, "Oh, thank you for guarding my body." Like, are you okay? Like, it's given you guys you were on your little date, but you don't want to call it a date, so you will call it a business date, so that when things like this happen, you can say, "Well, we were talking about a business date, but yes, there is attraction there." It's like you're not fooling any of us. Bajan says, "I ain't dating any of my friends' exes now, and they all making notes." Absolutely. I'm not dating nobody, none of my friends' exes. Let me give you all a story time. So one day I was just out and about, and then this guy, he was good looking, tall, like my type. He walked up to me and started talking to me. And I remembered that his name sounded familiar. He has a very distinct name, right? And his name sounded so familiar that I thought, I have a friend who has told me about dating this person. So right there and then I was like, "Oh, do you know someone called this?" And he was like, "No, that name doesn't ring a bell." I just knew deep down that Ninja was lying. So guess what I did? I reached out to the girl. I haven't spoken to her in like years. I reached out to her and I was like, "Oh, I met a guy today. This was what he looks like, but I remembered you used to tell me about him like years ago, I think. Is that him?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, yes, they dated, but like I can date him if I want to." I'm like, "Geez, sis, I would never, I do not want your ex. Okay." I'm like, now that I know you guys are related, you guys done dated before, no, thank you. He's like, no, she was like, "No, honestly, you guys can date. I'm cool with it. I have no issues. He's a nice guy." I'm like, sis, I said, no, I will not be dating somebody that has dated my friend before. Bear in mind that this girl used to tell me about them and when they were doing some intimate things and she'd be telling me about it. And I'm like, "No, girl, I do not want your sloppy seconds. I do not want no parts of it, even though you guys do not go all the way. No, thank you." But yeah, that's a little story time for you guys. So, no, I did not date the ninja. I did not date him. So, for me, not to talk of somebody's god brother, this was just a friend's ex, right? Not to talk of. Not to talk of a brother, that's just weird. Tommy's like, why would he lie? This is the question, right? I feel like, y- some girls would have just taken his word for it and just said, "Oh, she doesn't, oh, no, no, he said he doesn't know her, da, da, da," and dated the guy. He probably thought I wouldn't go and ask her, since he told me he doesn't know her, right? But I just felt like he was lying because I was like, she also has a very distinct name. She's the only person in this life that I've ever heard with that name. So for him to basically say no, I was like, nah, I don't know. There's something about the way he said it that gave me the impression he knows her. He's just lying. And so I was like, yeah, nah, I do not want your sloppy seconds. I do not want to be parts of it. And the weirdest part of it was it felt like she was like trying to get me. She was really like trying to get me to date him. She was like, yo, he was such a nice guy. Like, no, like you can date him. I'm like, no, sis, I do not. If he was such an amazing guy, why did you guys end things? And either way, I'm not interested in your sloppy seconds. Especially when I know all the crazy ass things you guys were doing. If you go, even though you guys didn't go all the way, but I know some of the things y'all were doing, so I do not want no part of it. Okay? But yeah, Bajan says sloppy seconds. Yes, nah, not me. Yuck. Exactly. I do not want to know nothing. Not with that mouth. No, thank you. So yeah, definitely not here for it. Um, but she said that Will was her bodyguard. What does she need a bodyguard for? This is the question, right? Like, I genuinely don't know what she needs a bodyguard for. As far as I know, there hasn't really been any encounters or anything where it's been that has been like that has come up as, oh my god, there's a safety issue with Destiny. She needs a bodyguard. Like, I don't really know. I I don't think I've covered anything that gives the impression that there's a need for bodyguards. Like, as far as I know, there's never been any sort of altercation, like physical altercation with anybody or someone harassing her in some way that she needs security for, as far as I know anyway. Unless I can't remember now. But so yeah, it baffles me that she needs a bodyguard. But even if you need a bodyguard, then just focus on the bodyguard and keep things professional. There's no need for you to be like being flirtatious with your said bodyguard. Just keep it professional. Bajin says, I ain't dating any of my friends' exes now, and they're all making notes. Yep, absolutely not dating nobody's ex. Nope. Anyone that I know, no thank you. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to, especially if you were also talking to me about the ex. Imagine, like, I just remembered back then she would call me and say, like, oh, I went out with this guy. He was this, he was that. We kissed, we did this. And I was like, okay, girl, like, wonderful. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. And then fast forward, like, literally 10 years later, this man is trying to move to me. And I just couldn't believe it. But anyway. Tommy says, yeah, dating Lance's godbrother is really weird, honestly. Absolutely is. It absolutely is. I don't understand why she even thought that that was okay. And I think the fact that even with like okay, fine, I understand like Lance had a baby that was completely unacceptable, horrible. Like, how are you going to have a side baby when you're dating Destiny, in quotation marks? And I say that loosely because I've also heard allegations that it was all storyline. I don't know what it is between all of them. um but either way, it's just a little too close for comfort. And it's a little bit like, care about appearances a little bit, at least. Tommy says, y'all, let's hit that like button and drop popcorns in the chat. Honestly, that could be a new thing. I kind of like the popcorns in the chat. It's kind of fun. So guys, drop some popcorn in the chat. Why not? Bajan says popper next. Tommy says, can we talk about Will? That man is an embarrassment. I can't believe he was advising Ken like, sir, you literally have terrible track records. Absolutely. And the interesting part is when he used to advise Will, most people, including myself, probably thought, okay, he sounds intelligent. He seems to have a little bit of, wisdom to be able to advise properly, right? When you think about all of that, and then you fast forward to the person we're seeing on TV with 4 kids, with 4 baby mothers, literally making jokes about wanting to hit it and quit it at your grown big age, right? You're laughing and kicking with the boys like it's not on reality TV and it's not going to get to the girl. It's like, what are you doing, sir? It's like you're really going out sad. And it is honestly so embarrassing just watching Will just show all of that. In a way, I'm glad he did, because sometimes with these men, they like to pretend to be something that they are not, and pretend that, like, oh, I want to be monogamous and I want to date you and I really want to take you seriously. So I'm glad that Will exposed it all. He wasn't trying to be out here pretending to be something he is not. On that date, if I were Destiny, I would have picked up my bag and just said, nice to meet you, thank you for the day, I'm out. There's no reason for you and I to be having these conversations whilst the red flags are flying left, right, center. This man literally told you he doesn't have a tattoo because he has commitment issues. Right? I don't have a tattoo, but that, I just choose not to have a tattoo. But to then align that we're having commitment issues, I was like, honey, mm-mm-mm. Think about it. That man done told you left, right, center that he is not looking for anything serious. He is unable to commit. You mean to tell me out of those four girlies or ladies that he had a baby with, he couldn't commit to one of them? Not one of them was enough, right? Was what he was looking for and ready to commit to, right? So that honestly just puts things out there and it's clear. That man ain't trying to date nobody. He is just trying to hit it and quit it, like he was saying to Martell. And yes, he definitely has a terrible track record. Um, Now I understand why Ken was not answering and doing whatever he was advising, because with somebody like Will, yeah, you can't take Will's advice, honey. Mm-mm. But you know what's funny though? People like Will, I bet they give good advice. They will give advice they would never take. They would never do, but they would give such good advice anyway. So it's more like do as I say, not do as I do. But anyway, yeah, those are the kind of men that you want your friends or you want your boyfriend to stay away from, because you don't want a person like Will putting those little things in your man's ears, right? Thinking that that is acceptable behavior when it isn't. I think Will was telling her, you ain't the one, I just want a bed buddy for now. Yep, I think he told her in so many different ways. So many different ways. And so not here for that. Tommy says, welcome to the live. Please hit the like button as you join in. Yes, please hit that like button, smash it. Um, at this point, maybe we need to start marking attendance. When you hit that like button, put one in the chat. If you're the second person to hit that like button, put two in the chat. Maybe we need to start doing that, because the likes don't be matching, honey. Destiny's from man to man, but tried to fix her kibble lip to say that Melody was trying to groom her. And I say that because, I don't want to say the word. Martell and she was GRMing each other, but never Melody they wish. Absolutely. For me, that was the most disgusting thing that somebody can say about another person. And it's like making baseless accusations like that can cause serious issues. So, yeah, I'm definitely, yeah, from that moment, I think like that was it for me when it came to Destiny. Like, I've always thought, yes, lies, da da da, but I think that was the hype for me. And for me, I don't think there's really anything, unless she does a complete 180. I don't think that there is really anything that she can do to change how I feel about that situation. Unless, like, complete moving forward, I'll still feel the way I feel about the situation, but maybe that might change how I feel about her if she consistently shows that she has changed and takes accountability and openly, just as publicly as she said what she said, take it back publicly, please and thank you. It was very, very disgusting. And yeah, we definitely should not be roaming around in the streets behaving like that. We can't just be out here, putting those kind of serious allegations out just like that. So yeah, I'm definitely with you, Ani B June, on that. Yep, I'm with you, Bajan. I agree. That was disgusting. The disgusting lie she tried to put on Mel. completely agree. And Tommy is here with the popcorn, honey. Enjoy. Exactly. To be honest, I respect that he was very truthful because he let her pick her slippers off and run. Exactly. I respect those people, not the people that lie and pretend, act like they ain't married, but they are married. Yeah, because that happened to me recently. But anyway, maybe that will be story time for the members only, honey, because I don't want nobody calling me on the phone because it's a recent incident. So yeah, that would be a story time. Maybe for the members only. But when she walked into games night, Ken was speechless. Yep. Okay, hold on. I'm not sure I get that. When she walked into the games night, Ken was speechless. Speechless, was it about destiny or I'm not sure I know what you mean, Bajan. Bajan said first tonight. Yes, yes, ma'am. First tonight. So guys, when you hit that like button, let me know what number you guys are in. So we can keep a tally about who are the people that are liking and the people that are not liking. Oni B. June says, oh, okay, she's talking to Bajan. And how, well, she did say, how's everyone doing? I am good. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you? I hope you're good as well. That was a lie that could have stopped. True, it could have stuck because before that she called, yeah, to be honest. Thank you for even reminding me because I completely forgot she called Mrs. Van that, and that is absolutely disgusting. Definitely not here for that at all. And yeah, she deserves all the smoke she has been getting, I will say that. But yeah, I think she definitely has shown, to be honest, Will showed enough that if she still goes on a second date with Will after that, whatever she sees is on her. To be completely honest, it's like at some point, right? Like whatever you have to take accountability for your part now because that man has shown you left, right. He has shown you in, excuse me, in multiple different ways what he is on. So if she decides to still date that man, despite everything that he has said, then that is up to her, honey. She has, it's now up to her. Maybe she likes to cry, you know? So we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next few episodes. But yeah, I need her to stop dating the same men from the same circle because these men will talk, they will talk about you. If you make the mistake of going out on a date with one of them and even kissing one of them, especially if it's Will, the way Will is opening his mouth and gums and yapping everywhere, he will be talking about it and he is not going to let it go. So if I were you, make sure, don't even, I don't care if one day you really felt, a little bit like, ooh, you wanted a little bit of comfort. It's not Will. Will is not the one for that. Just putting that out there, just in case you, Destiny ever listens to this, and one night she's feeling froggy and she decides to call. Please don't call Will. You're better off calling someone completely different, not Will. Nobody from that show. To be honest, nobody from that show. Because anything you do can be used and will be used against you. Just so you know. Because think about it for a second. Did you guys pick up that Nell was giving the impression that Destiny missed Will, not Will, her son Lance? Like Destiny came over to speak to Lance, and it's just like, wait, what? So this is what I mean about you can't even do nothing quietly. So even if, let's say, she was trying to do a drive by and like, check up on Lance and like, for old time's sakes of or whatever, she can't even do that quietly because now Nell knows about it and Nell brought it to the show. The thing about Lance is, at least Lance did not say anything about it on the show, so we would not have known about it. But Nell had to be the one to bring it up and talk about it. And so, you see, some like, Destiny, you can't even do nothing. You can't even, these are not the people you're like, oh, I just want to be comforted. Let me call Lance. You can't even do that. Because now Miss Nell found out about it because she was there. And then it's on TV. Now we know. So now you're going to have to come up with a good story as to why you were over there at Lance's. At least she has enough time between now and the reunion to come up with a good story. So hopefully she does. Talking about when Dusty walked in with Will. Yes, it was just like you could tell that Ken was just like, "What is this, honey?" Like Ken was not here for it, and I don't blame the man because Ken knows the kind of BS his bro is on. Men know their bros, right? They know the kind of BS their bros be on. They know, yeah, they know consistently who this man has been. So it's like you're not about to now show up, and then it's on some madness, right? So I feel like they all know that. Now, I will say Destiny is very funny. And I say that because when she had the conversation with Martell and Chris, I feel like when she had the conversation with Martell and Chris, it was the weirdest thing. Because she was trying to make it seem like she didn't know that Nell felt that everyone was ganging up against her. It's like Nell said it in the argument. So I'm drinking my hibiscus tea. Nell said it in the argument. She literally said it out of her mouth. Oh, that is a bit strong. Maybe they expected me to dilute it. Hmm. Very weird. I got the hibiscus tea from a restaurant. But I'm like, it tastes so strong. Like, after drinking it and it burns my throat a little bit, I'm like, okay, that ain't good. This is not what I signed up for when I bought the tea. Anyway. Okay, so back to what we're saying. I felt like it was very weird how Destiny tried to play. Destiny's really trying to play both sides, and it's not going down very well. She's also the bone carrier. And it just feels like she's going back and forth between both of them. So when she was sitting with Chris and Martell, she was saying about how she didn't know that Nell was upset and Nell needs to communicate that she was upset because she felt she was ganged up against. Nell said it in the moment. She said it in the moment that she felt like she was ganged up against. So I don't know why Destiny feels like Nell needs to have a separate conversation with her to her face to talk about how she felt like she was ganged up against. Like Destiny's common sense. She said it at the time. So I didn't really know what that was about, especially because in real time, she responded to that and tried to remove herself from the gang up comment. So I don't know. It's very, very weird for me. I don't know if she's just like it comes across as Destiny's not loyal to anybody but Martell. Um, she tries to act like she is, but she's not loyal to anybody but Martell. She's just there for a check and just doing what needs to be done to get her check. That is what it is given. Honeybee June says it's 4:33 in the evening here as well. Um, oh, I think she's having a conversation with Bajan. Okay, lovely. I love how you guys are having conversations in the chat. No Neck Nail is a mentor. It's funny because since you said this, let's talk about Miss Nail, honey. Miss Nail's behavior was unhinged. The way she went, it was too much. It, she doesn't know how to regulate her emotions, and it's so bad. I literally wrote it down and I said, Nell needs to chill the heck out. That is literally what I said. She needs to chill the heck out. She needs therapy. It feels like she is resentful of the fact that the children like Chris. And Nell says something a lot that bothers me because she's always talking about money, 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 and how the kids are taking money off her from her. And, the money's coming from her, and she's the one doing this and basically looking after them and all of that. She says this a lot, which then makes me confused because I'm like, okay, isn't Chris successful in his own right? Is it something where is Nell the breadwinner? Because that's the question that came to my mind. Is Nell the breadwinner? Because if I'm the breadwinner and the provider in my family, and I feel like everybody keeps taking advantage, I can understand. But the energy that she brings, it's a lot. It's too much. It was not proportionate to what was happening at that dinner. It did not need to escalate that much. Everybody on the dinner seemed cool, calm, and collected except Nell. Nell was the one that seemed unhinged. And I understand like people doing stuff to you to the point where you get bitter and resentful. I get it, but to the point where you're so triggered by a comment, something so little that should not have gone that far, took it too far. And it's like you gave the children that much access to your money. You refuse to draw boundaries. When you say you have boundaries, then you don't stick to your boundaries, right? You don't stick to the boundaries that you have set. You let the children walk all over you and still give them money, then you become resentful. You use it against them. Then you're always crying about it. And it's just like, now, stop giving them money. They are grown. If you don't want to give them money, don't give them money. But yet you continue to give them money. It's like, what part do you play in the dysfunction that you experience? And so I know a lot of people did not really like what Chris had to say, but I understand what Chris was saying about how he needed to figure it out. Because it's like you're always getting help, getting help, getting help. And some people are not self-inspired. It's like something has to happen in their life to trigger them, to trigger that discomfort for them to be able to push. But if they feel like mom and dad are a resource for us, then they don't really, for some children, they may not have the drive to push. And it sounds like that's what Chris is saying. So I just wish that Nell would stop being resentful. You are where you are at today because of the choices that you made. So now you can make more better choices. Maybe perhaps have boundaries, stick to the boundaries. If they come to you and say they want to borrow money, maybe have a loan agreement with interest rates, like whatever you need to do, right? To have those boundaries to prevent someone from being able to come in and out and collect money from you. That's what you should do. Bajin says, serves Nell right. She slithered over to the dark side and now look where it's got her. To be honest, you're right. It really has gotten her in deep mess because she definitely slithered. And look at her now. It's like, how do you slither like that to that extent? It's like, how do you let it get to that point? How do you let it get to that extent, mama? It's definitely so, so sad because it's like, you brought it on yourself. At some point, you have to be responsible. If you decide to continue to date somebody, right, knowing fully well, if you decide to continue to be bringing somebody, like allow somebody to come to ask you for money every single opportunity that they get. They can come whenever they feel like it to say, mommy, daddy, I need money. And you say, oh, yeah, yeah, sure. How much do you need? Let me send it. No, you're the one. You created this monster because you created a pattern where they could literally just show up and ask you for money, and that's enough. And you can literally just show up and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. No, it's not cool. It's not. And it shouldn't be. Right? So I feel like Nell has definitely caused what she is experiencing. And instead of like, self reflecting, taking accountability, correcting that behavior, she gets very angry every time the inadequacies is brought up, or anytime the consequences of what she's had to do is brought up. So, guys, I have a question. Do you guys think Nell is the breadwinner in the relationship between Chris and Nell? I say that because she keeps talking about the money like it's hers. And I'm like, why do you keep saying it like that? Unless you are the one that is providing and we just don't know about it. So I'm going to ask you guys, let's put it in the chat. Do you think that Nell is the breadwinner in the relationship? Also, Tommy, can you please put that as a question in the chat so I can put it up as well? Tommy also says, I feel Nell is a typical boy mom. She panders to their bad habits. Absolutely, she does. But it's like, if you want to do that, then you can't now get resentful and angry when you are called out about it or that is addressed. So yeah, terrible. Badger says, but how many seasons now has carried on about money? Stop giving the adult children money. Was it Chris's daughter who stormed out of the house that time? Yes, it was. And this is the thing, you're right. It's been so many seasons now where it's like this has come up over and over and over again. And it's like, stop giving them money. Right? Like, I'm just like, what is it? Like, let them go get work and get a job like the rest of the people. That's the question, right? Let them go get a job like the rest of the people. Like, I'm not against helping your child, but what I'm against is helping your child and being resentful about it, being upset about it. If you want to help your child, then you can't in the same breath complain about it. Which is it, right? Like, at the end of the day, I understand wanting to have children that are independent of you. You don't want a child or children that have to constantly depend on you for sustenance, for day to day. You want to raise independent children that can get on with their lives and whatever it is they need to do without needing you. Now, on the occasion that they need you, yes, you help, but it should be an occasional thing, not a consistent thing. What is very clear about the relationship with the children in this dynamic is that a lot of things is very much excuse me, how can I say it? A lot of things are very much not it's not like they're taking the parents as a resource as such. It's not like they're taking the parents as an option, rather they're taking the parents as a resource. So it's almost like thinking about it as my parents are almost like my second salary. If I ever need money, I just need to go over there and da 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 da. And so that's very much what it feels like, as opposed to I'ma figure it out. And then in the event that it doesn't work out, I'ma call parents and be like, yo, do you guys have a loan for me? This is what I'm going through. That's completely different scenarios. Hi, DG. How are you? I hope you're good. I hope you had a wonderful Monday. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so the question is, do you think Nell Fletcher is the breadwinner of the marriage? Let us know in the chat, everybody. I do believe Nell came into money when her mom passed the daycare center, and it was reported that Chris lost his broker's license earlier this year. So perhaps she is the breadwinner. Do you know what, DG? I'm inclined to agree with you, because the way she talks about it, like my money, my money, my money, is very, very concerning. Like, it gives the impression of someone that is running ish. Someone who's running ish, or feels like she's more financially invested than Chris is. Sorry guys, I want to get my juice really quickly. 1 second. I just wanted to pick up my juice from my desk. Okay, I definitely feel like it is really possible that Nell came into some money, maybe, and that's why she keeps saying, yes, you keep collecting money from me, my money, my money, my money. Is definitely giving like she feels like she has spent a lot of money on them. And it's like, but nobody forced you to do that. You need to also have boundaries, right? And so it's your job to have boundaries. It's your job to be like, okay, no, 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 this is too much. I can't let these kids just walk all over me and be able to show up whenever they feel like it to collect money from me. That's why I stand in that. Bajan says one season they went to Nell about money. Give her her due. She mentioned it to Chris. I feel if Chris says no, she'll still give them the money. Ah, I see. But that is the thing. It's like you can't still give them the money, even though your husband said no, let's not do that. And that's the thing. It's like you guys have to present a united front. And so if you're not presenting a united front, you can't be surprised if your kids are coming to you because they know that they can get money from you, but they know daddy's going to say no. So they're not going to bug daddy. They would come to you. Excuse me. So that's definitely what it feels like, to be completely honest with you guys. Such a shame. I will say that. Such a absolute shame. Um yeah, I definitely think Nell needs to go to therapy because even despite everything, I understand being triggered by everything. I understand feeling like people are using you. I get all of those things. But at the same time, the way the anger is expressed is not healthy. See how the dynamic at the dinner completely changed. It was like everybody on was sitting on eggshells. It shouldn't be so, right? This family dinner after all, like it shouldn't be like that. I understand disagreements every now and then, but she was raising her voice. Now, two things can be true. Just because she was at fault with the family dinner and the way she was interacting with the family does not mean she was at fault with the Kimmy and Nell situation. Because I know some people would probably want to draw parallels and say, yes, Nell was shouting at home. She was also shouting with Kimmy, da 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 da. But those were completely different scenarios. Doesn't mean that Nell was at fault in the whole Kimmy situation. We've already talked about the whole Kimmy and Nell situation. But in this, I definitely have to say, Nell, it with the family, yes, girl, you are at fault. I don't think Nell is the breadwinner, in my opinion. I think she's just a very aggressive mother. You could be right as well. You could be right as well. So yeah, definitely don't know which one it is. But yeah, the way she talks about money, 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 it gives the impression that she's always giving them money outside of Chris. Yes, Bajan, I heard about this. I think I might even have talked about it. I can't remember. But yeah, allegedly he lost his broker's license due to some fraudulent activities. Allegedly there was stuff that was not um on the up and up, basically. So yeah, if I remember, also there were like fines involved as well. So all alleged, of course. Don't know whether that is for real, but I think it was something that was being discussed in the YouTube streets at the time. Bajan is here with her popcorn, honey. Perhaps she feels guilty because allegedly wasn't she a side chick? Well, she denies that, but who knows? Is that maybe she is compensating for that? Gigi says another content creator reported on it. I'll try to see if I can find it. They had the records from Alabama, and he apparently had some fines. Yes, I remember that as well. Google Chris Fletcher and the Alabama records for his license. He was fined for several violations and his license revoked allegedly. Yes, yes, yes. Lines up with what I was saying. Because I remember, I think I covered it. Let me see if I can find it. But I do think I covered it. Tommy, do you remember if we covered it? Because I feel like I covered it. It definitely wasn't a live. I think it was one of those pre-recorded things that I covered. But let me have a quick look. If I can find it, then maybe I'll play like a little bit for you guys. Aha, multiple violations plus loses. Yeah, so okay, so let me see if I can play this for you guys. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick so that I can play that for you guys.
Like, this is actually completely out of hand. It's like when you feel like you're done with the criminals of Huntsville, something else comes up, and then it's just absolutely bizarre how these people go around with no concern, no care in the world. Now, here's the thing, I'm not even judging, right? But if you know you have some skeletons in your closet, then why are you on a reality TV show? And most people always feel like their dirt is not going to come out. But it's like everyone else's dirt came out, so why do you think yours would be any different? That is what is so baffling to me, because it's like we've seen this happen to so many people so many times over the course of how many years, and it's just like, why are you on a reality TV show? If you know you have some skeletons, if you know that there's something coming up in the pipeline and you don't want nobody to see, girl, I would have been said, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm going to keep it moving. That could have been the end of it. But it takes a level of bravery that I just don't get. For someone to be like, I don't care that I am doing some shady-ish in the background that may get exposed. I'm still going to come on a reality TV show and then hope that my ish does not get exposed. That is the great level of delusion. I don't even know what it is. Now, hey lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Here we talk about celebrity news and reality TV shows. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, please give this video a like, comment, share, and make sure you watch until the end. All of these things help to support a YouTuber like myself. Now let's get into it. Nell Fletcher, the only one. Now, everything I say in this video is alleged for entertainment purposes and in my own opinion only. So, shout out to Diana Rose, shout out to Empress Radio. So those are the first places that I got this information from. So I'm going to say allegedly, but allegedly it's been exposed that Chris has 6 real estate violations. Okay, not 1, not 2, 6, with a $2,500 fine for 5 violations and 1 violation for $500. Plus, the biggest thing is he is getting is the real estate license has been revoked. So according to these streets, there was a hearing date on March the 20th where he was allegedly found guilty for engaging in misrepresentation or dishonest or fraudulent acts when selling, buying, trading, or renting a rental property of his own or of a spouse or child or parent. So this sounds like something to do with dishonesty of some sort. And of course, his license was revoked. The thing about any job where you have a license, like license to practice law, real estate license, license for insurance, you have to be above board because any misrepresentation, fraudulent, or negligent could impact in your ability to practice in those areas, or at the very least you could get fined and experience a loss of reputation. Now the problem with these things is these things are public, so if you have a license for something, chances are if you lose that license, it is very, very public. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so careful about just in life in general, because I'm just like, I do not want to lose my license. I need to be very careful with so many different things, and it is so sad because it's like you work so hard for getting to get these licenses, right, and to then end up with so many violations. It's not even just one violation. You know how sometimes people make mistakes, right? Like there's certain things that you see and you're like, okay, this is a, but it's multiple violations. At what point does it feel like a blatant disregard for the value of this license? And also, apparently, the second violation, he was found guilty allegedly on the same hearing date, and it reads failure to disburse earnest money to the designated consumer after a written agreement was signed by both parties of the sales transaction. So for me, this sounds kind of like you were meant to send money to a particular consumer based on an agreement and you did not do anything about it. So what happened to that money? This is just me, I'm curious. And then the third violation is engaged in conduct which constitutes or demonstrates dishonest dealings, bad faith, and untrustworthiness. That is a very, very serious violation. Now, I don't know if he's ever going to be able to get his license back because these are such serious violations, and it's not even just one, it's 6. So it's very, very difficult to see the coming back from that. And I'm always one to be like, oh, I hope people move on and things change and, they're able to atone for whatever mistakes, because nobody's above mistakes, right? But I think the fact that a lot of it is very much dishonesty, misrepresentation, misrepresentation. Okay, let me be clear. I will say this again. Misrepresentation or dishonesty or fraudulent acts. So it's a mixture of things, right? It could either be misrepresentation or dishonesty or fraudulent acts. And then the second one is where I feel like is it the third? The third violation is the one where I think, that's a little bit more clear, in the sense that it says engage in conduct which constitutes or demonstrates dishonest dealings, bad faith, and untrustworthiness. That in itself is very clear that there is some sort of bad faith, something that shows that he wasn't trustworthy, right? That is something that is very, very important, especially when it comes to just different licenses, right? And then the fourth violation is failed within a reasonable time to provide information requested by the commissioner, investigator, or auditor. Okay, so this is more, I won't say lax, but I would say this is more like a lack of disclosure as opposed to dishonesty, right? So I would say that's probably one that he can easily get back from, in the sense that if that was the only sort of violation, I would have said, okay, if he comes up with a reasonable excuse or something next time, time passes, he may be able to get his license back. But then all of them as a combination, he must really be able to show complete changed behavior. Anyways, the fifth violation says change the address of his place of business and fail to notify the commission in writing within 30 days. So I think that is more of a, this is just my opinion, I think that's more of like a, okay, something you should have done that he didn't necessarily do. That doesn't necessarily show any sort of dishonesty or misrepresentation. It's almost like you have a requirement and you didn't comply with it, right? It's not right, but I feel like that kind of violation, you can still kind of, be able to make an excuse, get your license back. And then the sixth violation was fail to have a place of business that meets the requirements for a place of business. Same thing. I feel like this is also something that could have easily been able to, you can easily be able to turn around if you then eventually get a place of business that meets the requirements, apology, change behavior, and then reapply for your license after some time has passed. Now, like I said, these are just like my personal opinion about each violation. I do feel like, yes, there's always a process to be able to try to get your license back. Whether or not you do get it back is now to be determined, right, by the commission, and how long that would take, how many years in between. He may not even have his license for the next couple of years until he's able to get his license back, if at all he's even able to get his license back. And if you think about it, if you're trying to get your license back, then you need to show that you have changed. So no more acky-panky behavior, no more dishonest conduct, nothing. You must have also paid like your fines, for instance. All of these fines, you must have paid them, because then that shows that you have paid them, you have provided restitution. You will of course have to disclose all of these things, and he would have to give all of the information, right, if he's going to apply for another thing. It's almost like you're basically applying for a concession for them to give you another opportunity, right? So you have to prove that things are different now. You've learned your lesson. You never do that again. And things like passing, you need to pass the exams again. It's like starting from scratch. But the problem is it's not starting from scratch, because you have six violations against you. So it's like starting from those violations to then try to then prove that things have changed, you're no longer that person. And then of course there may need to also be like a formal hearing to determine if they...
Okay, so I think you guys get the gist, but that is what is alleged. And Bajan says, but watch Chris at the family gatherings. He just sits there like a statue and let Nell carry on. Absolutely. And even when Lance was trying to even step in to like try and defend him a little bit, he couldn't even like, agree with Lance and back Lance up. He just left Lance there to drown. So it's definitely very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. So why is he going through plans with Popper and Dusty for Popper to build some grand mansion with 7 bedrooms, swimming pools, etc? You know how these people are. They will act and pretend and do whatever it takes to be on the show. But also maybe it was pre-recorded before all of this happened. So who knows? But I will not put it past these people to definitely be the ones like, um to definitely be the ones like just concocting storylines at this point. I believe that's all for the show. They have no storyline, in my own opinion, and allegedly. Yeah, you may be right completely. I feel like this will not be the first time we've heard people do stuff for storylines, so I will not be surprised about this. Bajan says, why can't these people just be straight up honest? I guess honesty is a little tricky nowadays, but yeah, it definitely saddened by all of that. Like I definitely am not looking for, I don't like the idea of anyone losing their license or anything. Like, so yeah, I definitely feel bad for him. I will be honest. I don't know, like when it comes to like losing a license, stuff that you worked hard for, like I don't know, it always kind of makes me feel sad that someone could lose that. Gigi says he has apparently launched a mentoring program. Yes, he has. I think he mentioned that in the last episode. He mentioned that in the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last episode or one of the earliest episodes this season, that yes, he is launching a mentoring program. I think that would be very, very interesting. It's like, I guess you can have a mentoring program to tell them, what you did wrong and what they shouldn't do. So I guess they could work after all. And I guess also he was running um his real estate business successfully for years before this happened. So I'm sure he can still provide some sort of mentorship. But I don't know how the people would be or how the people would feel after this whole mentorship, uh, after this whole news, if that does come to the show. Damn, by this, Chris might be broke for real. Yeah, it's very, very sad. I do hope he's not. I hope he's saved enough and invested enough to not be broke, despite definitely losing his license. But yeah, it's a very sad thing to do that. Popper allegedly passed his builder's license exam. Honestly, if he has, good for him, because it's definitely taking years. And I'm glad he kept redoing it until he eventually passed. But I guess we'll have to wait to see if it is true. Bajan says, "Yeah, I see that. Got to wait to see if it's true or not." Yes, yes, ma'am. Literally agree. We definitely need to wait and see if it's true. Because, yeah, sometimes word on the streets is a little bit of tea mixed with a little sprinkle of lies mixed with a little bit of tea. So who knows? Like the snot, what's happening with snot manor? Honestly, at this point, we're gonna be waiting forever. It's a she by Shein, she by Chateau Cheray. It's definitely giving a lot of that. So we are going to be waiting for some years at this point. So I am not, yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Did you guys also um it's very interesting. I guess we'll see how Martell really fares and whether or not he actually does the so-called projects that he's brought Chris and Destiny to be working together on trying to sell the property. Let's hope so. Let's hope he's finally getting his act together. But I will not hold my breath. I would have to wait and see how things progress to see if he's really, really getting it together for real this time around. So I'm drinking my orange juice for energy because I'm starting to feel tired. And it's not even that late yet. So don't worry. I'm still gonna hang out with you guys. I promised to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, so we're gonna talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about Potomac. What would you guys rate Potomac? This particular episode of Potomac on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being terrible, 10 being excellent. What would you rate this episode of Potomac? And why? So I see a 7 in the chat. Okay. Why would you give it a 7? I can't stand Stacey's lies. Okay. Okay. Bajan says a -0. Bajan is like, I'm not even going to give it a 1. She is like, you are getting a minus. Fair enough. And why would you give it a -0? Oh, Bajan. Let's know why. What was it about Potomac that you weren't feeling this time around? What was it about Potomac you weren't feeling? Why would you give it a -0? While Sebastian says that, let me see someone else. Tommy says an 8. Why do you give it an 8? So it seems to be mixed. So I see 7, -0, and I see 8. So I guess an average would be somewhere in the middle, really. But yeah, I'll let you guys put in the chat why you guys have given the ratings that you have given. And then while I talk about Potomac. Now, where should I even start? Okay, let me start with AJ. AJ is Stacey's friend, right? I feel that AJ, who is Stacey's friend, prepped her to read the girls. He literally was like, "You're from Detroit. You're going to let somebody from across the pond check you." I feel like he put a fire in her back. It literally put the battery in her back and sent her on her way. And I feel like all the smoke that Stacey had for Tia was completely unwarranted. I think Stacey did not have to go that far. Stacey took things extremely far. It was completely unnecessary. And so I feel like tell me if you want to tussle, let's tussle. And let me see if I can get the clip because I feel like I want to show you guys some stuff from the clip. Let me see if I can get a clip of it just so that we're working from the same point and we can see where I stand with it. Also, I haven't watched Married to Medicine, but I'll watch it so we can talk about that um, tomorrow. I don't know if I'm doing a pre-recorded video for that, but I'll try and do that. So I'll try and either come live to talk about it or do a pre-recorded video for Married to Medicine. Okay, so let me play this for you guys. Let's hope that it's going to show the full clips. So let me play it a little I'll put it on mute a little bit just to see if it moves forward to where Tia is because I don't know if the clips will be showing Tia in the conversation. Um No, not Tommy saying I feel like Tia has been doing too much, saying the worst things about Stacey behind her back. No, she hasn't. There's nothing Tia has said behind Tommy's back. There's nothing Tia has said behind Stacey's back that was not said in front of her or with her in mind. Even when the whole Wendy and Eddie situation happened, she said it right there while she was on the phone. It's like if she was trying to not let the girl hear it, she would have said it quietly afterwards and just, not brought it up. But she said it right there when she knew the girl could hear it. So I don't really think that it's saying stuff behind Stacey's back as such. I think it's everything that's already been said in front of Stacey that she is also talking to the people about. Because I don't think there was anything new that she raised with the girlies that she hadn't raised with Stacey before. And the vibe that I'm getting with Stacey is the lies are just starting to annoy me now. I'm completely over it. The lies are just constantly piling up. It's like when you feel like you've heard something, you hear another lie. And I know Stacey is likable. I like her on the show myself, but I feel like the lies are just too much. It's like, why do you lie so much? Like you lie unprovoked, you lie in positions where it's completely unnecessary. It's like, why? What is the reason for all of that? Right? Like that's the bit that I personally struggle with. Because I'm like, yeah, I understand people say like, oh, it's white lies and stuff. I get that. But at the same time, they are still lies. And it's too many. It's too many of them. Like, I feel like people are so obsessed with the fact that they feel like Stacey's being picked on that people are not seeing the things that Stacey does to contribute to why the people don't like her. Stacey was literally saying to Tia that the reason that she did not introduce her husband to Eddie and Wendy is because of Eddie and Wendy. Wasn't that different from what she said to Eddie and Wendy in front of Tia? That's another lie. That is another lie. It's just like why do we keep lying? It's like now, you made it seem like, oh, Tia was trying to get between Eddie and, between Wendy and I and stuff. And I didn't say that. Only to then find out that you intentionally did not invite or you intentionally did not come to sit down with Eddie and Wendy because your husband has issues with Eddie and Wendy. That's different from what you said. It's like, why continue to lie, standing your truth? And it's like Stacey did not like being interrupted, but she was happy to interrupt Tia when it came to the conversation about what Tia felt, how Tia felt that Stacey was out of order on. And that's the bit that gags me. I'm like, you can like people, I like and enjoy Stacey, but at the same time, I have to call it out because it's like the lies are constantly piling up in the same conversation where someone is checking you and trying to have a conversation to get clarity. You're still lying again. And I think all of these things that Stacey lies about is because she's non-confrontational. Non-confrontational people who have not learned to have those conversations despite the, their uncomfortability or discomfort, right? Those people tend to lie to people please. In that moment, you just lie because you're like, okay, I don't want Eddie and Wendy to feel some type of way. So you lie about it and make it seem like it's Tia's fault. But imagine someone is making it seem like you want to cause division in a friendship when no, all you did was repeat what they said. That would piss me off too. And that's the thing. So I feel like I get that people love Stacey and that's okay. But at the same time, it's like you guys also have to hold her accountable for the constant lying. It's like everyone is always talking about, oh, everyone is ganging up on Stacey, blah, blah. And I can understand how it could feel like that because it's like everyone has an issue with her. But on the flip side of that, if you're around someone who is constantly lying, you don't know what the truth is, you feel like they're fake, you don't want to be around the person. And I feel like Stacey wanted a moment because why did you have so much energy for Tia, who showed up to your event when people like Giselle, Ash, Angel, and them lot did not even decide to turn up? And if Tia was trying to not be cool, she wouldn't have called you on the phone to begin with. It just felt like Stacey wanted a moment. And that was all it was, in my opinion. But let me see what you guys are saying so that we can tussle. Bajan says they just need to leave Stacey alone. It's draining to see grown women carrying on every season. Let's pick a woman to get rid of. I honestly get the sentiment where it feels like they're always choosing one person to aim and focus on. I get that. But at the same time, I feel like in this situation, I feel like that may be true of people like Angel who don't have a direct issue with Stacey. But Tia is the one person that actually has a direct issue with her because she was made to seem like she was lying on Stacey when that was not the case. If someone was out here trying to act and make it seem like I was lying on them, I would have so much smoke for them. The smoke that Tia has for her is still kind of nice until it got a little bit like, okay, don't and stay there, right? But I just think like I feel like people, you can like people, but you can still call them out. Like maybe that's where I stand. I'm very much like I still enjoy Stacey on the show. I like her on the show, but she be lying. Stacey be lying. The way Wendy talked about Stacey is how I feel about Stacey. Stacey be lying. She lies unprovoked, lies about everything, but she's entertaining for the show, right? And so she's a nice girl, she's a sweet girl, just like Wendy said, but she's a liar. That's just the reality. So I do feel like the rest of the girls, maybe it's like, all right, girl, like, she be lying. Just, she be lying. Just understand that she lies and then do with that what you want. But I think the girls are just tired of the lies because they had to deal with freaking Mia. And now they have to deal with this. So they're at this point, I don't blame them because they're just like, if we let it go, then it's going to be another Mia 2.0. So I definitely get that. I just think she just needs to stop lying, standing your truth. I understand you're non-confrontational, but at the end of the day, it's a reality TV show. Everything you say on camera in some way, shape, or form whilst you're mic'd up will come back again in the future. It's like, now let's count the lies. You said you went on a date with Monique's husband at the time when they were going through the divorce. But in other bits, you're saying you did not date him. Okay, which is it? Did you go on a date? Did you not go on a date? Like, what are we talking about? Then allegedly, you said you didn't have his number. Then Monique says apparently you pulled out text messages that showed you had his number. So it's just like the lies keep piling on. Then the whole TMO situation, you lied about him being out of town, and then you said, oh, he went out today or he just came back today, that's a lie. Then you lied and made it seem like you didn't bring up the whole Eddie and Wendy situation, the whole Eddie and Wendy not being able to meet your husband situation, and that Tia was the one trying to start drama between you guys, when the lie detector proved that that was a lie. And that's why I feel like people say it's little lies, but it's not little lies, because now you're gaslighting me. If I was Tia, this is where I would stand. You're gaslighting me to make it seem like I'm the one trying to come in between your friendship, when in fact all I did was tell the truth about what you said. And my thing also is for Stacey to be like, "Oh, don't interrupt me, don't this, I want to let me finish." Fine. But did you guys notice as soon as Tia started speaking, she started interrupting and didn't let the girl finish? So I'm like, you're interrupting her speaking because you don't want her to tell the truth about what it is you're lying about. So next time, Tia, I'm gonna need you to get all those words out because we need to hear the lies. Because it for me, the lies are draining. It's like I want to get that candy meme that says the lies, the lies, the lies. Literally, that's how I feel. It's like, Stacey, give it a rest. Give the lies a rest. Please and thank you. Bajan says the Real Housewives of Liveville. That is what it is given. And for me, like, it's not, I don't really like watching lies. Like, I like to watch reality TV and feel like I'm really seeing their reality. I know that's, that's not always the real or facts, but I don't want to feel like I know that that's not the facts. I don't want to feel like somebody is just playing games. But Stacey didn't say she didn't have Chris's number. She said, "Why don't we call the phone?" Big Forehead came running back and said, "Sharice has his number." Apparently, so Monique said that she said she doesn't have his number, and then it turned out that she did. And the reason I believe Monique is because Monique has talked about the editing, and we all know they be editing a lot of things. And if you guys remember, Monique had a sit down with Giselle. In the sit down with Giselle, it made it seem like Giselle wasn't even like apologetic. Giselle didn't take accountability for nothing. Only for Monique to say they had a sit down and Giselle was practically taking accountability and they both got everything they needed to get out. And so it's so odd. It is so odd that that was not that no that like they didn't take accountability for that, basically. So that is definitely very weird to me. I'm trying to see if I can get you guys the clip. Tommy, I don't think you sent me that one. Let me see if I can get a clip of when Monique said that. I think I watched it on Watch What Happens Live. Um, okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay. Oh, I swear I saw it. I can't find it anymore. No, that's not it. Mm, okay, so I don't think that's not it. I can't seem to find the clip. This is why next time I see these clips, I need to save them straight away. But yeah, apparently, um, there is all of that. So, but yeah, apparently the conversation with Giselle took accountability. They talked about everything. They even talked about the binder situation. And so it's like, imagine they talked about all of that and we did not see that. The way it was edited, it did not show Giselle apologizing at all. And this is why I also feel like they are committed to keeping Giselle in that role, right? They are committed to keeping Giselle in the role of someone who cannot take accountability, someone that cannot apologize. They want us to have that image of her. Because why else wouldn't they show that? Same thing with the conversation with Wendy, where it was like it was both ways. Apparently, there was apologies on both ends. We only saw the Wendy part and they cut out the other bits. So it's clear that they have an editing in mind. And then it's like they already have what they want to say in mind. So everything is just as a result of whatever it is with the lens of what it is they want to say. So yeah. Grizzle also told lies on Monique, Wendy, and Candice, and is still on the show. Yeah, nobody's saying Stacey should leave the show. I just think that I don't like the way everyone seems to be whitewashing Stacey. Stacey is a liar. That's just the reality of the situation, right? Stacey's a liar. Stacey continues to lie. Stacey lies unhindered. Stacey continues to lie. What I don't like is when I look at comments and people are constantly saying, um well, Stacey's lies are not that serious. Like, okay, Stacey's lies are not that serious, but they are lies, right? And where do we draw the line? One minute you're gaslighting somebody and making it seem like you didn't say something that you said. That's not, to me, that's not an easy, little lie either. That's not a white lie saying I can't show up to somewhere. Those are different circumstances, but that's how it starts, right? And I feel like everyone is focusing on just like, oh, Stacey's entertaining, people are hating on Stacey. No. The people don't like Stacey because she be lying. And it's just like it's annoying because it's not even like big lies. It's things that don't even need to be lied about. And I think that's where a lot of people have an issue with her. So I'm just saying, like, there has to be some balance with it. None of them are innocent, but at the same time, none of them are actively lying the way Stacey be lying. How many lies have we caught her in this just one season alone? How many people have we caught in lies this season? But Stacey, that's just the reality, right? So it's like, yes, we can be like, oh yeah, the old people, da 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 da, but at the same time, it's like these Stacey be lying. That's just that's the qualms I have for her today. She be lying. I see that clip with what Monique said. Yeah. I definitely don't I can't seem to find that particular clip of where Monique was basically saying that. But yeah, there was a clip somewhere where she was saying about what she said, what Giselle said, all of that kind of stuff. Like she was basically expressing that they said quite a bit, but editing kind of cut that out. And that is annoying. I'm like, they need to do better with the editing. Like, don't be editing everything, all the good stuff out. But that's why I feel like sometimes they have a part that they want these people to play. They don't want us to ever see Giselle being held accountable. They don't want us to ever see Giselle apologize. So we have this image of Giselle as someone who never takes accountability, who never apologizes, when in reality, there's been opportunities with certain people, sit downs with certain people where she has apologized. So it then makes it seem like Wendy is chasing Giselle's butt when in reality they both had a conversation and they both decided to move things forward. Same as this whole Monique and Giselle, right? They make it seem like, oh, Giselle is really trying to be, all on that when that's not the truth. Hey Braylon, how are you? Braylon says, I'm with Tia. Stacey did lie. Like people like Tia more than Stacey and hated the chat and reviews. Love you. Love you too. Love you. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I'm with you. But I feel like a lot of people love them some Stacey. That is like Stacey is like bulletproof. Nobody wants to acknowledge anything Stacey has done. Everybody just wants to be in the Stacey bubble. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. She's fun, she's funny. But at the same time, it's like, guys, let's call a spade a spade. She is a liar. That is it. That is all. But yeah, love you. Thanks for speaking on this. But yeah. And funny enough, like I like both of them. But yeah, I definitely think Stacey is definitely starting to annoy me with all the lies. It's like I'm just at this point where I'm like, okay, the lies are not even necessary, for crying out loud. So yeah, definitely. The other thing I thought was very odd was the fact that Stacey did not allow her so-called friend to show up to support her, the launch of her business. That is so odd. So very odd. Like, what are you scared of? That what Wendy will come to your business and learn tips that she can use for Happy Eddie? Is that it? But didn't you do all of that to try to learn stuff, and you even tried the gummies yourself, all that kind of stuff? Was that to take lessons so you can create your shayo? Like, that's the question that I have. So it is definitely a little bit odd for me. Like, it's a little bit like, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm definitely on this fight. I'm with Team Tia on this one. Yeah, it's definitely Team Tia on this one. At least in relation to this whole Stacey and Tia business. I would have loved to hear what Tia wanted to say without Stacey constantly interrupting her. I need to know what was said. I need to know what was said privately, because it's given Stacey wants to cover up the fact that there was a conversation that she had with Tia that Tia was about to spill. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And with my PhD in thickness from Thicktastic University, when she said she has so much body in that dress, I was offended. Angel can say that. Oh, I didn't even pick up on that, but maybe I need to go back and watch that. I did not pick up on that at all. Now, guys, do you know what cracks me up this episode? Watching Greg at the ring at the ring store trying to do at the jewelry store trying to do ring shopping cracked me up. He looked stressed. Let me see if I can find a clip of that man. That man looked stressed. He looks like, what are you guys having me do? It's like, how much is this? It's like, you guys have me stressed. Like, it's just, I do not know. Like, what in the world? Let me see if I can find you all the clip. Because that man was stressed out. Stressed out looking at those rings. If I can find a clip of that, that would be nice. Okay. I think I found a clip. That guy looks stressed. I'm just like, yo, that guy cannot afford this.
Oh yes, it's just the most expensive one in here. For you, we'll do 2 million even.
Wow.
Literally 2 million. Like, let's be honest. How much does this man have? Like, why are you not showing him a $2 million ring? How much does he have, guys? Like, can we put things in perspective? I don't know who y'all are trying to prove something to, but that man is a social worker, guys. A social worker. He doesn't have the coins like that, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. But 2 million naira, he looks stressed out.
And this is over 20 in the center. That's a real piece right there.
It might be too big for her.
Look at his face. It might be too big for her. That man is like, please, you don't want to put me in trouble.
Her finger, though. I gotta clear some stuff off of my credit card.
Yeah.
These are all jokes, by the way.
I don't like how Bravo decided to show her with her shoes coming in like that. It was not looking good. Sorry.
You look gorgeous.
How's everything?
This is exciting.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I remember kids sitting on the couch.
Braylene says, I would rather just have 2 million in my account. Maybe it's just me. Hun, it's not just you, because me, give me that money. Especially if we're talking 2 million, okay? Now, of course, if you're a billionaire and you want to get me a $2 million ring, I'm not going to say no. But if you're a thousandaire or like a millionaire and you want to get me a $2 million ring, then I would be like, okay, maybe not, baby. Let's save that up. But yeah, I guess it just depends on, how many zeros do you currently have in that account. Because if it's a billionaire status, then it's like, all right, what is 2 mil, right? So, but yeah.
Thinking, where do you think we'll be in 10 years? And here we are, 10 years later, looking at engagement rings with Miss Shelley and you,
Wow,
her fiance.
Yeah. This is the thing. I feel like low-key, Greg looks more age appropriate with Kiana's mom. What do you guys think? Am I bugging? Don't they look like they could be dating?
Say to be. It's
Look at them right next to each other. Don't they look like they could be dating?
almost like surreal. We have been friends for almost 20 years now, and I am honored that Greg invited me ring shopping. She is a very discerning lady when it comes to jewelry.
I have a husband. Okay. And a ring. Still waiting on that.
Eesh. The aggression from that clip, honey, like cloudier than an MF. Yeah, it was definitely giving very low-key, very aggressive. I'm not gonna lie, Kiana. But yeah, I really wanted to show you guys his face. So let's give it a minute. Let me play this.
Greg better come correct.
2 diamonds on the side.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Miss Shelley had her ups and downs with Greg.
I just don't think your relationship is good for you.
And so
Look at his face. He looks stressed out. Stressed out. There is a bit that I'm like, yo, can we get to that point? I wish I hope that like one of the next updates with Instagram, they let you actually like move around the clip, because this is annoying.
I'm thrilled Miss Michelle and Greg are in a great place right now. I don't even feel like I need to be a buffer because they are buddy like mother and son.
Are you gonna buy the condo as a wedding gift?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what you guys are saying. So buy her the condo as a wedding gift. Is she renting the condo? Didn't she already buy the condo? It's like, I don't know. It's not adding up. What are we talking about?
So we're moving in with the ring on the finger?
Are you helping me?
So you see what I mean? They look more like age appropriate. They look more like age appropriate versus him dating Kiana, in my opinion.
Oh, you're hurting me here. What's going on?
Listen, happy wife, happy life. You know this. So I'm looking out for you.
All right, I got you.
Right.
Honestly, I hope that these people don't give me copyright issues. Let me share my screen for a second and then let it play where I need it to play at, and then I will show you guys the clip. It's like you can see that Ninja was stressed out. The way he was moving and looking, you could tell that he was not with it. He looked stressed out. Let me show you guys this clip real quick. He looks, look at his face. Did you see him looking to the side? He looks stressed out. Look at his face. That's the person that is going to be paying for the ring. That man is looking like, what? 200 something thousand? Like, hell nah. Look at his face. Like he's rethinking in his mind, like, oh my God, do these people really think that I'm about to buy this ring? That is what it is given. And then this is the bit I think I want to play.
Know which one we want?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to be so happy.
Well, thanks for everything.
Now watch. He's like, thanks for everything. So Kiana's mom is looking like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't pick anything that you're buying. You can tell Kiana's mom is not here for it at all. Watch.
But we got but look, before I make a purchase thing,
Listen, this ninja said, before I make a purchase,
I definitely run it past her, seriously.
I definitely want to run it past her. Why do you need to run it past the person that you're getting engaged to? It's meant to be a surprise, dummy. It's given you don't have enough money to buy the ring, but you don't know how to get around saying that you don't have enough money to buy the ring. That's what it's given.
Because I don't want her to be like, oh man.
No, you have
Because I don't want to be like, oh man. Guess what the mom said? It's like, no, you don't need her. You're here with me. You better clock it. Mommy was clocking him in that moment.
I don't need her with me here.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
You don't need to run it by her. How are you feeling like in your heart right now?
That man has no intentions. That man cannot afford those rings they are showing him. They better leave that man alone. That man has no intentions. He cannot afford. Well, okay, let me not say he can't afford, but it's definitely given that he has no intentions. Let's be nice. He has no intentions of paying 200,000 for that ring or any ring for that matter. Maybe they need to reduce it to about 10,000. I can see him buying a $10,000 ring. But I don't see him paying all of that for that ring. In all actual honesty. So they better leave that man alone and let him find a ring within his means. I thought he wanted to buy the condo. It's also weird to me. I feel like I don't think Greg has that much money. I think he is comfortable. I think he's doing well for himself. Like, the average working class, career-driven man. But I don't necessarily think he got it like that to be buying $200,000 rings. In my opinion, this is just my perspective. I may be wrong, but that's the vibe I get. And the fact that he looks very shifty, he looks very stressed trying to buy that ring or trying to even look at the ring. It's like, why are you just so stressed looking at the ring? It's so weird to me. Now, Michelle can guess. I wouldn't be mad if I had Michelle listen, and Michelle is a flirt, a good one. Who is Michelle? I don't know who Michelle is. Bajam says, go Dollar Tree. At this point, anything is better than that $200,000 ring that man cannot afford. Like, I'm not even being funny, but even Angel and the mother, it's like, yo, you guys should know roughly. Is a social worker? How much do social workers earn, right? Like, I don't know. He probably has his own business, so maybe he has the opportunity to earn more. But even at that, it's like, what is the range? I don't think he's going to be coughing up that much money on one ring, ma'am. I don't believe that. Sorry, she wants to stunt on Stacey, but it's backfiring. Yeah, it's not looking good. If she's trying to stunt on Stacey, it's not looking good. But I do also know that these producers also can edit it to look like that. So they may have had this scene before, but then they edit it so it comes right after Stacey had basically talked about her ring. So they do these things just to add more, pizzazz and add more extra to a story. So I won't be surprised if it's not being shown in the order in which it actually happened, just for the sake of drama. Now, let's talk about Ashley and Josh real quick. Let me see if I can get a clip of them. Just because I feel like there are some bits that I really wanted to play. Because I feel like a lot of people don't like Ashley, and so I don't think a lot of people are trying to understand where Ashley's coming from here. But I'm not being funny. I completely get where Ashley's coming from. Are there nicer ways? Oh, Kiana's mom is Michelle. Oh, yeah. Michelle can get it. Michelle can get it. Michelle is a beautiful woman. She is so gorgeous. Like, Michelle, Michelle is a baddie. Okay, so Braylon, I'm with you. She is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Body right, faces right, everything right. She can get it, definitely.
Vibe. What do you want to go for? It's like very minimalistic.
Also, this is her talking to her sister.
Oh God.
her talking to Josh. So see, first of all, they're literally you're taking Ashley on a date to an arcade place. I'm not saying you can't take her to the arcade place, but at the same time, it's like she's a woman of a particular age, right? And she's on TV. Do you think she wants to be seen to be dating a person that is taking her to the arcade, babes? It's not giving anything. Like, what are we doing here?
They're really like bucket seats.
Like, and she talked about it, and I was like, that's interesting, because she's like, she's dated men who have like shut a whole restaurant down for her, had her fly in private to meet them, stuff like that. So dating a man that cannot provide you in the same way will feel like a step down. That's just the reality.
It'll be easy. I've seen you drive before. I could probably compete in this.
There's definitely a difference between the dates that Josh and I go on versus maybe some of my older suitors.
Take you back.
Exactly. See, the first one, you're going on ping pong. Like, seriously, who goes to go and do ping pong on a first date anyway? I would have declined that. Imagine I see you over here. I said, no, I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Back to the college day.
She ain't messing with no broke ninja.
Yeah, actually.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm on the grass. One of the guys I was dating rented out a whole restaurant. A guy that I dated took me on his private jet to Vegas.
Babe, you gotta pick it up.
Exactly. It's like you can't go from dating those kind of people to now be out here, in an arcade playing, I don't want to say silly games, but playing these kind of games. It's like, I actually understand it, Ashley. And I know, like, for a lot of people, it's definitely given like, okay, Ashley wants to dig in the gold or whatever. But I'm like, to me, it sounds like she wants security. I think about like her mom. Her mom is dealing with a man that can't take care of her. Her mom is dealing with a man that is a liability. So I can understand Ashley not wanting to date a man that is a liability. Think about what Candy is going through with Todd. Candy is out here trying to divorce Todd, and Todd is now contesting the prenup. So it's like, imagine, think about it. So it's like sometimes dating under your tax bracket as a woman can have you in some crazy ass situation. So I definitely can understand her wanting to be like, nah, I need to be secure. I need to date above my tax grade. Not someone that's taking me to arcades.
And that's just sort of the caliber that like I've been used to, even with Michael. It's always just been very swanky.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's definitely given, it's completely two different worlds.
How'd you do?
Oh, that was so hard. Should we get some refreshments?
Honestly, from the way she was talking about the dates, I was like, yeah, this lady is about to break up with this man. You could just tell it was coming.
After you.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Absolutely.
Welcome in, guys. How we all doing today? Do we want to start off with any drinks?
Yes, a Peroni.
I love how bright it is at the bar behind them. It's really pretty.
You're getting angels.
Also, Ashley be looking good with this hair. This hair is definitely her hair. She looks good. Her forehead looks good as well.
And be on the rocks.
Can we also get the tuna tostadas?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't want to hear that music in the background. I don't want them come and call.
Like, the simulation was so real.
It was good. I like that. That was actually a lot of fun.
I know.
We do a lot of cool things.
It's like we do a lot of cool things. And like, look at her.
Me too. Considering the fact that this time, almost last year, is when we started dating.
Yeah.
To me, 1 year is a time of like reflection.
Do you know what it's given? It's given Ashley had a good time. She had a fun time getting to know this man, doing all sorts with this man. She enjoyed it. And now she's like, okay, it's a year now. I'm divorced. I actually need a man. I don't want to be dating a child. That's what I think. And she wants a man that is able to give her security.
When I first met Josh,
I actually grew up on a farm, which is crazy.
get out. You know how much I love farms.
Wait, really?
My divorce wasn't finalized. And Josh was really just what I needed.
Oh God, I didn't need to see them kiss. That's what I mean about Instagram. If you're listening, please, opportunity to fast forward.
A year later, I am officially divorced. And right now, it's not looking good with Josh. I'm feeling this like internal struggle.
I can understand it. I can respect it because it's like you can't be going through like you can't like let's be honest. Ashley now has her own money. Right? She must have gotten a good settlement from the divorce. She now has her own money. She has to think about her kids. She has to think about, everything. And she also has to think about the life that her mom is living. Like her mom could have had a completely different life if her mom did not choose who she was with, right? And so I just think it's very, very sad, but I actually do understand where she's coming from.
Our relationship. What I fear will happen is because if you're young, you don't have any kids yet, you've never been married, eventually you will want those things. And I don't know, if I want more children.
Fair enough. So she's not even sure if she wants more children. She knows Josh is going to want more kids in the future. So I understand her even wanting to be like, let's just cut it. Although I don't necessarily think that's more about what it is about as such. I think it's just a good add-on as to why I'm breaking up with you, as opposed to just being like, yeah, your money is not long. So yeah, I definitely think that's why she's trying to let him down a little gently.
Sure.
But also, if I were to have children, it would have to be like in the next year or two. But I don't see you in a place that you are able to do that in a year or two.
And why do you say that?
It does take more in a relationship.
Like, dude, see the kind of dates you're taking her to. The life she wants for her children is not the life that you're going to be able to provide for her the way you're moving.
Relationship than just this. It takes,
I hear you.
right, there's financial elements that everybody needs to be aligned on.
I don't think you fully understand where I'm at. You don't.
So now he's like, you don't know where I'm at financially. It's like, to be honest, she can gauge it. Like, she may not be perfectly correct about where you're at, but she may be able to gauge it a little bit.
Don't understand my finances. You don't know them.
Babe, let's just keep it above.
Ooh. She's like, babe, let's just keep it a buck. Oh my gosh. She was over it at this point.
There are just certain
He looked upset.
things, certain markers.
You also know, like, I'm not a flashy person,
So, sir, even if you're not a flashy person, there are some things that should come out naturally that will let her know if she feels like you have what it takes to be able to take care of her. At the end of the day, right? Let's be real. If I'm a woman of a particular lifestyle and this is the lifestyle I live, I don't want to date anybody who is going to reduce the lifestyle that I'm going to be living. A man that I have to now take care of? No, absolutely not. So I completely get her not being like, this is going to be it for me.
We're able to have a good
Babe,
time.
we've never taken a trip together.
This is what gags me. She says, we've never taken a trip together. Guess what this guy is going to say?
I didn't ask you to come back to Pittsburgh for a couple days.
I didn't ask you to come back to Pittsburgh for a couple of days. So he thinks taking a trip is going to Pittsburgh, while she thinks taking a trip is going abroad. Those are two different people with different views on life, different money mindsets, different, ideas about what traveling is. It's like you guys are not equally yoked on that level. Because if I say, oh, I'm traveling, and someone thinks I'm traveling in the same country, I'll be thinking like, no, honey, I'm talking about abroad. Speaking of abroad, I think I'm planning to do a quick trip. I think I might travel this week or next week because I just need a few days off to just rest and get a little bit of sun before I'm back in the country. Because the weather has changed. But anyway, it ain't about me.
I'm okay. Yeah, Pittsburgh is fine. I'm saying like internationally, we've been dating for a year.
I don't need to take a trip to solidify.
Exactly. We've been dating for a year, right? You haven't done that. You haven't brought it up. You're talking about Pittsburgh. So it's like you guys have different views about what a relationship should feel like, what you guys need in relationships. It's been a whole year. You guys have not even like officially moved into like an exclusive relationship. You haven't done all of that. It's still a situationship. So it's nonsense, really.
Our relationship.
No, we need to take a trip to have fun.
Well, let's take a trip this weekend.
Okay. I just feel like
So Ashley is trying to break up. This man is trying to stay together, and Ashley's just like, yeah, no.
I'm not trying to zoom in on this one thing. It's representative of maybe some of the expectations that I have.
She's right though. She has very different expectations to him. They can't even agree on where to take a trip to. They can't even agree on the kind of trips they want to take. If you think taking a trip is being in Pittsburgh, while she thinks being abroad is taking a trip, you think the idea of dates is taking her to ping pong and arcades, where for her idea of a date is maybe going to dinner with you closing down the restaurant for her. You guys have different views and different expectations and different needs in a relationship. It doesn't align. It's just going to be, if they had stayed together, it would have just caused a lot of friction either way.
As to whether we could be happy together.
I would say you're pretty happy around me.
Oh, dude. Sometimes a guy needs to know when to stop fighting. Like, she done told you in different ways she is not interested. Now you're talking about, oh, I think you're pretty happy around me. She's gonna happy does not pay the bills. Understand what Ashley is saying? Absolutely. I think people just don't like Ashley, so it's easy for people to not understand what she is saying. But yeah, I do feel like, yeah, definitely I get what she's saying. So may I raise a point with Michelle? She felt that she was not with Michael, right? So may I raise a point with Michael? She felt she was not seen, heard, or embraced, but with Josh is meeting her more emotionally. Plus, what convos have they had off camera about the future? Absolutely. I don't think that they've had a lot of conversations off camera about their future. I say that because how are you guys have been dating for a year and you're still a situationship? So that gives me the impression that there's a bit of a disconnect. And then if you're saying the kind of dates he's taking you on are these kind of dates, you mean to tell me in a whole year he has not taken you to a really nice place, a nice dinner, has not done any of these things? So it's like, what do you guys even talk about off camera? Now, I do agree with you that it feels like Josh meets her more fun, emotional side. But at the same time, it's like, she's like, I need other bits too. I need the money to be long, and it just isn't. And it's so sad because you could tell he was really trying to be like, empathetic and just kind of like, okay, I wouldn't say empathetic. He was really trying to defend himself and defend the relationship. He wanted to continue to be dating her, but she is like, nah, I do not want a situation where I'm in the same situation as my mom. And I completely get that. Like, if you've been in a situation where your mom has experienced this sort of behavior or is tolerating this sort of behavior, it's easy to get a little bit, I guess, hyperactive, where you feel like, yeah, you need to deal with things differently, right? You don't want to be in that same situation. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, let me share this tab instead. I want to talk about Giselle and Robin saying Todd does not have a leg to stand up about the prenup. Let's see. Bear in mind that Giselle and Robin are not lawyers, as far as I know. Yeah, Bajan, you're right. That may also be true.
Oh, Todd is like filing for full custody
of the
full
kids.
custody of the kids.
And
Let
then
me tell you something. Wait a minute, because I heard he's like quite contesting the prenup.
Right.
So there was a clip, guys, of when that whole conversation happened.
Right. So we're talking about
Candy Burris
Burris
and Todd Tucker.
Yes.
They're
going through a divorce.
Yeah. So I watched it like 3 times because I was like thinking like, did Candy say something that made it seem like?
Bear in mind, like I said, Giselle ain't a lawyer, right? I've had mixed views from different people on this as to whether or not the prenup, there's a leg to stand up with the prenup. I've seen someone mention that he was represented, legally represented. And the truth is, when you're legally represented, you should not speak to the end client directly. You should speak to their legal representation. So I've seen that being as an argument as well. I've also seen people say like, oh no, it's going to hold up in court. So we don't know what's going to happen. It depends on the judge, because I can definitely see argument on both sides.
He was signing it under duress.
Right.
No. She was straight up like, you think you getting my money?
Right.
You ain't getting my money.
Right.
And I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Like, it's very clear when.
But it's funny because that could then be classified as duress. But this is what I mean about, like, you know, not being a lawyer and stuff. But yeah.
They got together. Candy was very well established.
Right. Exactly.
And Todd was not.
Yeah. He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
No.
I mean, I do think they did have business ventures together.
Yes. And she said in that clip, you got half of that.
Right.
Which.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair for him to get half of any business ventures that they work on together or they build together during the marriage. I absolutely get that. I think the bit that I do not like or struggle with is like trying to get the money that she had before she came into the arrangement, into the marriage. I don't think that's fair.
There was no gun to your head, Todd. Like,
Right.
you signed it because that's what you wanted to do. Because you wanted to marry Candy.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to see anyone divorce.
Me too.
And of course, they have children, so I hope they can get to an amicable place. I hope it is amicable.
Yeah.
Amicable.
Amicable. Yeah.
That's a tongue twister. But I do think, like, you gotta like try. You know, I don't know.
What?
Okay, so whatever is in the prenup, like, I'm sure it's not favorable towards Todd, and so I think he's like, well, I just gotta try to get a little something more. You know what I'm
like
saying?
put it out there to try.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. There's something I hate about, like, you signed it. Nobody forced you. Nobody put a pow to your head. You chose to sign the dang prenup. So it's like, why then change your mind? It's the same thing I had with Simon Gobadia, because I just felt like you signed the prenup. You agreed to these terms. And it's like, that's on you.
Try to get more,
Yeah.
even though you know you're not.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. And that's a tactic.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lawyer
Right.
tactic.
It's a lawyer tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully it doesn't get ugly.
No, I hope that it doesn't get ugly.
But we kind of knew, like, and I think, you know, what Mama Joyce, of course, is always scared that like something like this would happen.
Wait a minute. No, not Mom Joyce. The other one, the aunt.
Aunt Bertha is who y'all are looking for. A scheme that Todd set up to come to y'all with the BS.
The
Aunt Bertha, who said, this was a scheme that Todd set up. I wish I had the exact quote, because it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
And people
Like, this is a diabolical scheme that Todd set up.
and people use that for like everything.
Everything.
Yeah, nah, Aunt Bertha, yeah, she's definitely the people's fave, honey. Because yes, we are using that for any and everything we find.
Everything. As a matter of fact, in Candy's acceptance speech at BravoCon, she said it.
Oh, she did?
She did.
Oh,
She
that's
was like,
funny.
and everybody said this is a scheme.
That Todd set up. Well, I know they're over there saying, I told you so.
I doubt that they are, because
True.
that's her mother. And
Yeah,
she's,
we hope not.
Yeah, she's going to give her
thinking
grace.
it. They're thinking it.
Yes.
Nah, that woman is going to tell her I told you so. You guys do not know Mama Joyce. She going to make it clear that I told you so.
Well, Mama Joyce was just sitting around waiting for this to be over, and so it is. But definitely praying for Candy.
Yeah.
Because you know, divorce is tough.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. You saw Todd is like filing for.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I am spent. I'm so tired. I need to go to bed. Thank you everyone for hanging with us. Please hit that like button for the replay, gang. Please hit that like button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. Okay, so I can't even say the thing right, but please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know every single time that I post. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat. Thank you to everyone who had liked this video. Let us know, the replay gang, let us know what you guys, let me know what you guys think and where you guys are listening from. On that note, guys, I'm going to bed. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, if not Wednesday. Okay, guys, see you later.